These are validation commands. So today we will be discussing more about synchronization commands. Now, these synchronization commands have mostly like waiting commands, or which lets the control or the tool wait for the application or an object to turn up within a stipulated time. So these are like wait for page to load, wait for all buttons, wait for text, wait for alert, wait for text. So these are mostly used synchronization commands. So if the application is taking time, then the script execution has to wait until a transaction has to complete. So to ensure this, we use synchronization. Okay, and apart from these wait commands, we have a mostly used command called as click and wait. This is a command which is used mostly all across for synchronization. We go for wait commands only when the synchronization is to be happen within a stipulated time, or if it is taking more than the time. So that wait normally hampers your test execution. The reason is the default wait time for each and every object is 30 milliseconds or 30 seconds probably. If the object is not turned up within 30 seconds, that is a default. That is a defect for sure. It is taking more than the 30 seconds. Now, the maximum issue over here is the object has turned up within 10 seconds. Wait for max. It should wait for the 20 seconds to complete. Until the 30 seconds are completed, it will not go ahead. That's the problem with wait command. It will be a huge wastage of time if it not turned up early before 30 seconds. So we will go to wait commands only when it is mandatory, or when object turnaround time is changing, use this thing. Generally go for a or mostly usual command is you can wait only. Are you clear so far? Normally,
Mahesh,
yes.
Your voice is not clear, Mahesh.
Not clear.
Now it's okay. When you were explaining the task, I was not able to hear properly.
Okay. So I'll repeat it now. Okay. Now you're able to hear me properly?
Yeah. Now it's clear.
Okay. Everyone, are you able to hear me properly?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah, now it's clear, Mahesh.
Okay. Now I was talking about synchronization commands, wherein there are like wait and click and wait commands mostly used. I'm saying to use wait commands only when there is a strict necessity of using a wait command, because wait hampers your test execution. As the default waiting time for each and every object is 30 seconds, if the object turns up within 10 seconds on a web page, wait command lets the control wait for complete 30 seconds. As a result, the remaining 20 seconds are misused or wasted over here. So that is not suggested. So mostly go for wait commands only when it is necessary and when it is going beyond the default wait time, that is 30 seconds. Or always stick on to this command called click and wait. That would be an added advantage for your test execution. So as I told you, if the application is taking time, script execution has to wait until the transaction has to complete. To ensure this, we use synchronization. Okay? Now let's go back and open up our applications and start working on it. we all clear? Have any questions in the comments? Everyone? Okay. Let's open up yesterday's case here. Oh, I think this is my test case which I used yesterday, which is with a verify element present and asset element present. When you see there is a click command here, if my object is turning up within the stipulated time, I can use click, or I can simply use click and wait. There it is. Okay? It is as simple as that. Now, when you want something to be synchronized, you always have to take care of the turnaround time. Because first thing you have to analyze the maximum time it is taking for completing one transaction. If you analyze that, then only go for synchronization commands, or else leave it to the discretion of the tool itself, because tool has a default wait time of 30 seconds. Never ever go for wait commands or click and wait command until and unless it is necessary. Only in IDE. Okay? Okay. And yesterday's limitations. The fourth one, works only in Firefox browser. That's the biggest limitation for IDE. IDE cannot be used in any other browser. Reason is only because of this synchronization issue. Firefox is the only browser which made IDE as its native part, because they wanted Selenium to be integrated for intimates, the starters who want to know what Selenium is about and how to work with Selenium and everything. They wanted everybody to understand what is the intricate development procedure inside Selenium without using a coding aspect. That is the reason they have developed a integrated development environment and assigned completely based upon its execution based upon commands. When we are supposed to do some synchronization issues and do some real-time testing, IDE is a failure. So to surpass these limitations, they have come up with two very beautiful components called RC and WebDriver. So we are going to start it today right now, and we'll configure some tools and we'll start working on. Yesterday, I have showed you a script which has been exported from IDE to RC and WebDriver. Both of them, we can export them. So, as I told you, IDE will be mostly useful for that purpose. And if there is a time crunch in your test execution, you will immediately open IDE, start recording, and use the script for your test execution purpose. Defects mostly are you cannot do runtime validations. You cannot write your own logical structuring. That is a conditional structuring. If the application is found, what is that I have to do? If the application is not found, what is that I have to do? As simple as that. So this is a real-time testing. So that is not possible using IDE, which I told you as regression testing. Okay. So today we are going to start with RC, the basic, the first component in Selenium, and we'll configure the tool with something called as Eclipse here. So, and everyone, if you don't have Eclipse, please open up your Google page and type in download Eclipse. Okay. If your system is 32-bit, please download 32-bit Eclipse version, or if it is 64-bit, please download 64-bit. I'll show that to you right away. Okay, just type in like download Eclipse like this. Click on your Eclipse download. The latest version in Eclipse is Luna, so you can download it directly, which is also called as a standard version now. So this is your Eclipse download. Here it is. You click on this Eclipse standard 4.4, the latest version. If your machine is 32-bit, click on this 32, or if you want it for 64-bit, go for 64-bit. Okay, and let's explore Eclipse now. Now, why is that it is suggested that we have to use only Eclipse, or why is that we are going for Eclipse? There isn't any hard and fast rule that we have to use Eclipse only here. Only thing intricate over here is Eclipse has some features which enables us to work on different programming approaches precisely with Java. Like Eclipse, there are more editors in the market, which is also called as IntelliJ, the other tool which works as like Eclipse. And we can also use a basic level editor called Notepad++, which would be an added advantage. Like has some features for other programming languages also. But Eclipse has a very good, stretch out facility for accessing methods, classes, which is inbuilt for Java programming. So as we are going to use Java, Eclipse will be supporting a lot for us. So that's the reason we are opting Eclipse. Eclipse has a complete SDK, which helps us in including Selenium jar files and let us work on those programs and everything. Okay, let me start a new project for you all. So we'll right away configure our new project and use Selenium server as baseline for that. Just give me a minute, I'll close and open up the view. Now, first thing that I have to do when to start up with Eclipse is I have to create a project for my own. Okay, go to my file menu, click on new option. There is an option called Java project. Click on Java project, and we have to give a name for my Java project there. Okay. I'll just write it as logic. Do nothing, just click on finish. Now, for running Eclipse, what you need is you need to install Java in your machine, JDK 1.8, the latest version. Without Java being installed in your machine, you cannot open Eclipse. Eclipse needs Java as a backup. So how do you know whether Java is installed in your machine is, go to your command prompt, there just type Java as a command, any place, no need of specific location to be mentioned. If Java is installed in your machine, just type Java as a command and click on enter. Give you the list of Java class paths or classes available, okay, like this. This in turn means that Java is available in your machine. Or if you want to know the version of your Java installed, you can type Java space hyphen version. This will let you know which version of Java is installed in your machine. Okay. Without Java installed, you cannot work on Eclipse. So if you want to know where to download Java and everything, as like Eclipse, go to Google page. I'll type in saying download JDK 1.8. Okay, JDK 1.8. Okay, the latest version of my JDK. And the first link says Java SE development kit 8 downloads Oracle. Don't go for the first link. Go for Java SE downloads. We don't need a development kit. We are like, we're not doing any sort of development here. We just need normal download to be installed as a JDK version. So go for the second link which says Java downloads, Oracle Technology Network. So it's by Oracle people. Click on, you see an image like these two images. First one is Java and the other one is NetBeans. Click on Java image directly. It will take to another location where Java is available. There it is. Scroll down a little. You have to click on accept license agreement. Click on accept license agreement here. Then download it for, if it is 32-bit, you have to download the last but one link. It says Windows x86, this one, for 32-bit. If it is for a 64-bit, you have to click on the last link. Okay? So mine is also a 32-bit, so I have to click on i586.exe. If it is 64, please click on the second link here, the last link. Okay, there you go. That exe will be downloaded. I have already done this. It's cancelled. Okay, I'll reinstall for you. Hang on. Everyone, are you following me?
Yes, Mahesh.
What are all the requirements for configuring Eclipse and everything? We need Java, we need Eclipse, and also we need Selenium Server standalone file, which we're going to download within a while. I have a document for configuration procedure, or how to download Java, how to configure Eclipse, everything step-by-step procedure. Please don't worry. Follow me right now what I'm doing. I will share the document with you at the end of the session so that you can repeat it back again at your home after the session is completed. Okay? So please be with me and understand what I'm doing. Configuration is a little important concept which you need to know.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll go back to my C drive and create a project folder for us. Now, whenever you are supposed to start a project or a new instance of a project, we need to specifically use folder structure wherein I can store all of my files in there. Okay, I'll create a new folder. Okay, I'll name it as automation. And we have to follow a specific folder structure inside it. I created a folder here called automation app logic, inside which I need to create two folders. One is LIV and the other one is SRC. Okay, why is that we need these two folders? In every test scenario or any test environment setup, in server, we will have these two folders mandatorily be used. LIB is used to store all your jar files related to Selenium. SRC is the folder which is used to store all your .java files which we create inside Eclipse. Okay, so this will be our location of storing those files. Once Java is installed, we'll come back to here. Okay, it has downloaded. I'll just double click on my exe. Here, please.
Mahesh,
Yes, ma'am.
what is SRC is used for to store this file?
SRC is used to store your Java class files. Now here in Eclipse we create our own class files.
Okay.
Here. We'll be creating class files inside this, which are nothing but your test case programs. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You can use that folder, or you can use another folder which is created by Eclipse for storing your SRC. See here there is an SRC folder. See that?
Yeah.
So this is a default folder available within Eclipse. So we'll be mapping this folder with the SRC folder inside the folder structure. So see, I'll right click on this folder, so create new class. I'll name a class first underscore RC or something. Click on finish. I'm not doing anything. So the moment I click on finish, it will be under SRC. See that? Created under a package. So this SRC will have all the class structure for you.
Okay,
yeah. Got it?
Yeah.
My first underscore RC is falling under SRC folder.
It will automatically fall under that.
Yes, automatically. The moment you right click and say new class and give a name to that class and click on OK, the class will come under SRC. Okay. There you go. I'm installing my Java here. Nothing much here. Everything is like next. Okay. A normal wizard to be followed for installing Java. It's not that hard like earlier days, setting a class path or something. Okay, it will take a while, so I'll just skip this. If you have any questions, you can ask me when installing installation of Java and everything. You just have to press next and next and next for all the windows that comes up. Okay? Can I skip this, everyone, or you want me to go ahead with the installation procedure in Java? Everyone?
You can skip this. You can skip Mahesh.
Yep, buddy. Yep, thank you. Okay, I'm just skipping this. Let's go back to our RC now. What is that I have to work out in RC, and what is the main class that we use inside RC for running our scripts and everything? First thing that I have to do here is, normally when I have to start testing, precisely my web application testing, I have to open a browser and a URL. Now in IDE, we used an open command and we have given a base URL in IDE. However, we replicate the same inside RC as a code snippet. No, it's not a code snippet here, it's just a class. No. Whenever we are supposed to use Selenium, we need a backup of your Selenium server in RC, that is remote control. That is mandatory. Without Selenium server backing up, you cannot execute your programs. So let's go back to our official website, Selenium official website. It is seleniumhq.org. Okay, we have to download a jar file. Okay, from our downloads tab. Okay. After Selenium IDE, we have Selenium server, formerly called as Selenium RC server, which is the latest version is 42.2, 2.42.2. Just simply download it. And this is a jar file, trust me, which will have a complete invocation for WebDriver, RC, and also some parts of grid. Okay. In normally when you go for online learning or any other information gathering in on the web, you will see any number of jar files being added up, like saxing.jar, jxl.jar. I mean, there are a huge listing of jar files. Don't worry, those jar files are used according to their needs and necessities for improving their test case criteria. We will be running the whole show with only single jar file. This has a complete API embedded in this. Understand this jar file. It is a very, very highly important jar file which we have to configure. So it's inside my downloads folder. Let me go back to my downloads. See my jar file. Here it is. My jar file is. So I have two more. I'll copy this. I'll go back to my D drive, the folder which I have created. Here it is, automation app logic. I'll go to my LIB folder. Now I'll paste it here. So all my jar files location will be here. Okay. Now I have to add this to my project inside Eclipse. How do I do that? Come back to Eclipse. Right click on your project. Go to an option called build path. Okay. Right click on your root folder of your project. Select build path. There is an option called configure build path. Click on that. It opens up properties for your app logic project, which you will have a tab called libraries. It will by default selected. Click on add external jars button. Go to the location where you have to add your script files. Okay. And let me go to my project folder. Okay. Set LIB and select my jar file. There it is. Done. Add it to my library. See, the moment I click on OK, just click on OK. On the left hand side, see the structure of my folders: app logic, SRC, and JRE system library. The moment I click on OK, I will have one more folder added called reference libraries. See, I click on OK. On the left hand side, stick to a project listing. Got it? Everyone? This will be by default created inside your project. Okay?
Mahesh,
Without this jar file, we cannot. Yes, buddy.
what are jar files?
Okay, excellent. Jar files are a combination of classes designed for specific purposes. As like commands in IDE,
Okay.
Selenium guys has created classes, and which will have a combination of methods for performing specific actions. If I want to open a specific URL in a browser, I will not be directly calling an open method as like in IDE. I will call a class and I will call a method inside a class. That's the procedure.
Okay.
So all of them are embedded inside a jar file.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's nothing but an executable file which you will have, which you will see a complete class structure embedded inside them.
Okay.
Other name for jar files is an API. Okay.
Okay.
The place where you can look after your API is if somebody asks what is an API, go back to your downloads tab, scroll down a little. There is an option called Selenium Client WebDriver Language Bindings for various languages: Java, C#, Ruby, Python. We are using Java. Click on Java doc, the last link. This is called API. It shows up all the classes here, all the classes. The jar file which we have downloaded now is embedded with all of these classes which you are looking at now onto your left hand side.
Okay.
These are the maximum classes available. If you want to know some description about the classes, you can come to this place, click on that class, and start using it. Selenium itself is made as a class here. See, I'll show you. Don't worry, we are going to explore. It's not mandatory that you have to go through these class files completely. Okay, see that? Selenium.
Okay.
Selenium itself is made a class here. Got it? So I will tell you how to use and everything. So don't worry.
Okay.
And I'm just showing you the location where you can find the whole list of classes at a place. Okay.
Okay.
Let's come back. No, we have added a jar file to my project. Done. So this is my build part. Build part means whenever I'm supposed to build a specific Java file, this jar file will also be taken into consideration while execution. Done. I'm good. So next thing is I have to configure my Selenium server with Java. Go to your run menu inside Eclipse. The last option. There is an option called external tools. Click on that. Go for configure external tools inside external tools. The reason why we are doing this is we have to combine Java with Selenium server. Okay, without which we cannot run our programs. So I'll go for external tools configuration. Here we'll create a new configuration here. Okay. The moment you open your external tool configuration, you will see something called as programs like this, and you will not see any builded programs on your right hand side corner. You'll just double click on this program. Then you will find a place how to configure. This is how it looks like. Okay. So I'm going with a new configuration. In the first one location says where is your Java residing. Please let me know that part. So I'll go to my browse file system, give the location where my Java file. It will be inside your C drive. Okay. Here it is. Program files. There will be a Java folder. There it is. Inside program files, I'll have a Java folder. JDK 1.7 is the version installed in my machine. Double click on that. Go to your bin folder inside JDK. There is only a single file with the name Java. Don't go for any other folders or files. Just select Java as a file. Click on open. Now this is the path where my Java is residing. So I have given the path. Okay. And next one would be your working directory where you need to configure your Selenium server. Just let the configuration system know where is your jar file residing. Only the path. So click on browse file system. Go to your my computer C drive. Okay, I'm sorry, D drive. Automation app logic. That's it. And inside it I have a lib folder inside which I have my jar file. Click on OK. This is the place where my jar file is residing. Now I have to tell to my compiler what is the name of the jar file. So inside arguments, type -jar, give a space, paste the name of the jar file here which we have copied now, along with the extension .jar. Am I clear so far, everyone? Location, the first location talks about the location of your Java executable, that is Java JDK. Second one is the directory where your Selenium server jar file is residing. So I have just given the path of my directory, inside which I have to give an argument as my jar file. The syntax would be -jar, give a single space, give the name of your Selenium server standalone along with the extension .jar. Now click on apply, click on run. This will start your Selenium server. So, this will start your Selenium server on your machine. It says Selenium server standalone. There it is. Everyone, are you looking at my screen?
Yes, Mahesh.
There you go. Now my Selenium server is started. This is how I start my Selenium server configured through Eclipse. Are we all clear so far, everyone? Any questions so far? Please let me know. If you want me to repeat it back, I will repeat it. Configuration setup is a small procedure that you need to be aware of, for sure. If you are okay, I will go ahead, or if you want me to, I'll repeat it back.
Mahesh, can you repeat it?
Sure, buddy. What I'll do is just remove the entire project setup, okay? I'll create a new project again. We'll start from scratch. What do you all say? There it is. Okay, as an innovate into my Eclipse, the first thing that I have to do here is I'll go to my file menu, go to new option, create a Java project. Okay. So I'll say I need to give a name to my Java project. So I'll write app logic or automation app logic someday. Do nothing here. As I have 1.7, Java SC 1.7 is highlighted. Absolutely fine. I click on finish. Okay. My project is created like this. First two things that I have to do here is I have to let my project know how to build the file and with whose help I have to build the configuration or execute my steps. Two procedures. First is I have to build the configuration. Second one is with the help of Selenium server, I have to configure and run my script. So first thing, right click on your project, go for your build path. There is an option called build path. Go for configure build path. Select the jar file which is a source for your script to build your files. Okay, obviously it comes into your library tab. Click on your external jar files. Directly take to the location where your standalone is residing. Unset automation app logic. Click open. Done. I'll click on open. The build path is configured, and you will see a reference libraries folder. There it is, within which you will see your Selenium server standalone jar residing. I'm done with one process. The second one is I have to let my compiler know how to run my script or whose help I have to take or whom help I have to take for running my script. So go to your run menu inside Eclipse. Last option is external tools. Go to your external tool configuration. Once you open it, you will see a screen. Okay, you'll see a screen like this. I'll create a new configuration file for you. In my machine, there are almost like 6 servers running, so I'm just looking after this. It will take a minimum while, so please hang on. I'll operate one second. Run external tools configuration. There you go. Okay, there it is. Okay. The moment you open up external tool configuration, it will look like this for you. Nothing is on your right hand side corner, completely red. Just double click on this program, which opens up your configuration setup. Okay, there you go. Your configuration setup looks like this. Okay, if you want, you can change the name of your configuration setup at any point of time by just changing it to automation underscore app logic. Okay, it's up to you. The first thing I have to give the location of my Java executable, my Java runtime engine or the JDK engine. So click on browse file system, go to your C drive, go to your program files, inside which you will have a Java folder. There it is. Double click on Java, inside which you will find JDK and GRE. We need JDK, not GRE. GRE for your Java development called as Java runtime engine. So we go for JDK and go to your bin folder, inside which you will find a single file called Java, just Java, nothing else. Just click on OK. So I have given the path of my Java compiler residing at a location, Java executable. Next thing I have to tell to my compiler or Selenium engine that where is my Selenium server residing to introduce it to Eclipse so that Eclipse can use that Selenium engine, start working on that. So the working directory, click on browse file system back, go to your my computer, C drive, my automation app logic folder, click on LI. This is the place where I have this. Click on OK. Now, I have to give arguments here. arguments related to my Selenium jar file. So I'll just type -jar, give a space, paste your jar file name, which is your Selenium server standalone 2.42.2, along with an extension .jar. Okay, that's it. First one will be your Java location. Second one would be the location of your executable Selenium server standalone file, and then the arguments with name of your jar file. Okay, then click on apply, click on run. So this will start your Selenium server, which is used for running your scripts. Okay, there it is. Okay, we already have started it earlier, so that's why it is saying Selenium is already running on port so and so forth. Okay? Don't worry, it's not an error. Okay, are we all clear so far? Everyone?
Yes, it's clear, Manish.
Okay. Can I go ahead then? If everyone is okay?
Yes, Manish.
Okay. Okay. Besides, I'll be sending you a documentation for this entire configuration setup. Don't worry. Okay. So let's build a new class file now. I'm just right clicking on my project. Go to new, say class. Now, since from a long time I'm saying class. What is the technical definition of a class? Let's discuss that first. Underscore RC. Now, as if right now, please ensure that you are selecting this public static void main, which is a text box here. I will tell you the reason why we are selecting. Let's not discuss about it right now. I'm selecting this public static void main and clicking on finish. No, we are creating a class here, which is nothing but a Java class. The moment I create a .java file, it says, the first line says public class, the name of the class which I have created. Now, why is a class being residing here, and why is that it is taken as a class? What is a class actually? In technical terms, the definition for a class will be this is what a class means. Everywhere, if somebody asks you what is a class, please give this two-line definition, more than enough. They will come to know that you have a complete understanding about a class. Trust me. Class is a conceptual representation of all entities which share common attributes and behaviors. Now, what are these? Common attributes and behaviors are those which are used for a specific purpose. Okay. Now, normally, see, there is a human being class, for example. Every human being has a commonality like walking and talking. Okay. But there are certain attributes and behaviors, like some human beings can listen, some human beings cannot. Some human beings can see, some cannot. So, according to our segregation, we prefer a specific human being for a specific purpose. If you want a human being for talking, you can prefer every human being. And if you want a specific human being only for listening purpose, we prefer only those who can listen. Likewise, inside my class structure or inside my jar file classes, I have each and every class segregated for a specific purpose. So we use those classes according to our own discretion. Now, my first requirement in my first program is I want to open a browser along with a URL. For that, inside my API, which I showed you here, here it is. Inside this API, this listing of classes, I have a class called default Selenium. Okay, this is a class, which is the only class in the entire API for RC to open up a specific browser and a URL. Now, I don't know this name. As an inmate, I don't know. Mahesh already has worked on Selenium, so he knows the name here. But I don't know the name. Don't worry. See, I told you, right? So you might remember the part of this class name. So I'm not writing the entire class name. If you don't know the entire class name, or if you don't remember the entire class name, just type the part of the name or any default or something like this. Press Control Space. The moment you press Control Space, we have already configured my Selenium server or selenium.jar file with our project. The moment you do or press Control Space, it will give you the whole listing of classes which starts with the default keyword. And among the list, the first one is default Selenium, if you observe. And how do I say these as classes is, if you observe the icon onto the left hand side of these represents C. That means class. Okay. This whole listing is coming from my Selenium server standalone.jar. Okay. So the first is my default Selenium class. You got it? I got my default Selenium. No need to worry about writing it in entirety. Whenever I have to use a class, I have to use a reference variable. Every time we cannot use class names again and again, because class is a huge content which contains methods, everything. So I'll just create a variable called ts by just giving a space. Given is equal to. When we come to Java, we are using a Java structure here. So when we are supposed to use a Java, we have to instantiate a class. That means we have to introduce this default Selenium class to the one which I have created called first underscore RC. This is my class, right? First underscore RC is the class created by me. And default Selenium is a class which is already created by Selenium guys. So I have to introduce this default Selenium class to my first underscore RC class. The procedure of introducing classes to the other parent class or the child class is called instantiation. And we take the help of a keyword called new. New is a keyword which is supposed to instantiate a class within a class. Okay. And I have a method inside the class. Inside default Selenium class, I have a same method with the same name called default Selenium. See, if you want to see, I will remove the name here, and again I am pressing Control Space. Now, if you observe, instead of an icon called C, there are only green color dots here. Please remember this. Whenever you see green color dots like this, it's an indication that this is a method. Okay. Among which there are like first listing is default Selenium method. As I repeat once again, see, I wrote default Selenium before is equal to symbol. The symbol here is C. That means a class. Okay. Whatever is before this is equal to is termed as class. Whatever is after is equal to is termed as methods. As simple as that. So I want to instantiate a method wherein I have find two methods with the same name, which is default Selenium and default Selenium. But there are different arguments. Like inside the brackets, I see different arguments. First one says command processor. What is this? When I have to use this command processor, if there is any request that I have to send from a command prompt, I use this first method. Now we are not using any command prompt here. Okay. What is this second method doing? This is the one which I have to use, which has complete server host, port number, browser start command, and a browser URL. So these four are called as arguments, which will help me to start my browser. I'll repeat once again. The first default Selenium which wrote over here, which we wrote before this equal to symbol, is called as a class. And the second default Selenium is called as a method inside the default Selenium class. It has a method with the same name. Are we all clear so far? Any questions? Everyone?
It's clear, Manish.
Okay. Are we clear regarding instantiation? Why are we using a new keyword? Everybody?
Yes, Manish.
Geeta, Lavanya?
Mahesh, why did we use new keyword?
Yeah, new keyword is used to introduce methods inside the class to the one which you created. See, we have created a class called first underscore RC. This is our own class, inside which I want to use a Selenium instance or Selenium class. And this is my class name. When I have to use a class, I have to introduce that class and its methods into the parent class, which is my first underscore RC. And for that purpose, we have to instantiate the class. The procedure of introducing a child class to a parent class is called instantiation. And for that, we use a new keyword. New keyword is the one which helps us for introducing our class to the parent class. And this is default Selenium is a child class now. First underscore RC is a parent class now. Okay? So that's the reason we have used it. And the technical term that we have to use here is instantiation. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now, if everyone is fine, I'll go ahead. If you have any questions, please let me know. Can I go ahead, everyone?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah, but thank you. Now, there are like 4 arguments here, which are like predefined and came along with my method. What is this first one saying? Server host. It's nothing but the server location where you want to run your scripts on. Whenever we are working in any company, we will surely have a server which will be like, or like this 192.168, 168 or something, some IP number, 2.3 slash my home dot ASPX or HTML. Okay, something like my server location, the current web application that I want to work on. Okay, but instead here we don't have any server. So what we do here is I'll write localhost, because I want my local machine to be my executable server to run my scripts. So I'll prefer my local machine itself as the server. So I will write localhost here. Next one is my server port, which is to be used for running my scripts. Every while and then when you have to run your scripts through a browser, there will be a port enabled for you. In operating systems like Windows, the default port number is 8080. For Windows, default port number is 8080. When it comes to Selenium, the default port number is 4444. Okay, Selenium's default port number is 4444. Please remember that. You can change this at any point of time. Okay. Next one is my browser. Which browser I want to use for running my scripts. In double quotes, I give an asterisk symbol, type Firefox as my browser. That's a shortcut key for running our browser directly without double clicking on it. And then comes my browser URL. Then along with the protocol, I'll write google.com. That's it. These are the 4 aspects that I have to fill on. Clear so far, everyone? Any questions? Can I go ahead, everybody?
Yes, Mahesh.
Okay. But please, if anybody is not understanding, let me know. I'll repeat it for you. Because this is an inception class, you have to be very clear on this. That's why I'm going in a very slow pace. Okay. Well, and my complete default Selenium instance with a method and its arguments are filled. And this whole bunch is saved inside a variable called a ds. So I can use a ds here. Dot. Okay. Now, when I have to use a specific method invocation procedure, I can refer that class. As I told you, I have to use my default Selenium again and again, but I cannot write the name. So that is the reason we are using a variable here, a ds, which would be like shortcut for it. Okay. So ds dot, the moment I give a ds dot, it shows me all the methods that are available here. See that? Okay. So the first thing is I have to start my Selenium server. So I'll say ds dot start. Okay, there is my start now. And again, whenever we are running our server instances from programs like this, that window has a default way to open up in a minimized format. It will not open in a maximized format. So we have to explicitly maximize it by writing ds dot window maximize. Okay, and then ds dot open. It's asking me for an URL. If you all remember, in IDE, when you have to open a specific URL, even if the base URL is ready, we use a specific character, a regular expression. What is that?
Backslash.
Exactly. Here it is. Here also we use the same. Okay? Simple. Because we already have written a URL here, so don't have to mention the URL back again. So I'll just write ds.open and the backslash. Done. I'm done with my code. Nothing much to be written for opening a browser and a URL. So my Selenium server is already started up. What I'll do here is, I can click on this big play button here, or the other way to run your script is, right click on your program. There is an option called run as, click on Java application. So the first thing that it will happen is, it will open a Selenium server for you, Selenium remote control server window, which, as I told you, which is a backing up scenario. Once that server is open, then it opens up your browser. Here it is, it's saying preparing Firefox profile, because I asked to open a Firefox browser and then launches Firefox for me. Here it is. First window is my Selenium server remote control. You see the title of the window, it shows as Selenium remote control. This is my server. As I wanted it to be run on a local machine, it has created an instance. Then comes my original window with my Google page. There is my Google page. Got it? Let's go back to the server window first. Now if you observe, the title of my server is Selenium server 2.42. See everyone, this one. Selenium remote control 2.42.2. Where did we saw this? That's my jar file version. Right? Jar file which we have configured is also with the same version 2.42.2 Selenium server standalone. This means this jar file is running behind for running my script or opening my browser. And if you observe, we have used Windows maximize and open methods. See this? In the command history of my server, these are the methods that are used for running your script. And here is my Google page. That is how we start a browser and a URL instance. Are we all clear so far? Everybody?
Yes, Mahesh.
Sorry, I heard two voices at a time. Sorry.
Mahesh, how to find a port number? What are you given this port for Firefox? Right?
Yeah. Now, port numbers you cannot find it on directly because you need to go to a network. When we are setting up a network, and there are like default port numbers for browsers and operating systems. Okay. I cannot give you the network port right away. I will let you know the procedure. Okay.
Okay.
But please understand that port is the one which is used for running your script through a network, without which you cannot send a request or get a response. Okay.
Okay.
Now, whenever I'm supposed to do some automation testing, it's not that I will be restricting only for opening a browser and a URL. That's not a big deal. I want to do something else. I will open up my Google page. After opening this page, I want to test this page here. And I can see inside my Google India page, I see these links. That the Bengali, Telugu, Marathi, Tamil, Gujarati, all that. I want to grab those links and see whether I'm getting the links properly or not. I want to test them. I want to test the Google India page. I want to test the links. So for grabbing these links, what did we do in IDE? We took the properties of these objects, right?
Yes.
Remember in IDE, we opened up Firebug and took all these properties. Let me close this window, the server window, and then my Google window. I'll come back to my this thing and open up a Google page. Remember Firebug and Firepath, everyone?
Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah, I'll open Firebug here. Scroll down and click on my link. Now, identify my objects. Click on your element identifier. Take your mouse pointer all the way back here. There it is. Has highlighted the entire stuff. Click on this. It shows me the ID of my object. If you observe, there is an XPath here built in my Firepath panel. I can use this XPath, but what I want to do is, I want to count all of the links here and print them back one after the other. That's my requirement. So when I have to do a count, there is a specific option inside my default Selenium itself. My default Selenium is represented with a DS variable. Okay. Now I need to synchronize. Synchronization. We just not talked about synchronization in IDE. In our species of synchronize. Retro sleep is the method that is used to synchronize. Okay. Which is inside one more class called exception class. Okay. And how do I mention that class here? I'll just place my control beside my main method. This is my main method. And add a line called throws exception. Exception is a class which has a sleep method inside it. Now, what is an exception? Any runtime issues that we are going to face, which we are not predictable, I mean, which we doesn't know that it will come during runtime at all, will be handled by a person called exception. This will handle all runtime errors and assign those runtime errors back with a meaningful error message. And among which we have a synchronization mechanism called sleep method. This is a method available inside my exception class. Now what it will do is, it will give a breathing time for my browser opened through my port or through my local host. Once it is done, then I will start accessing my objects like links or text boxes or whatever. Now I want to count the links on my page. So when I am supposed to do that, I need it in a number. Immediately when I need a number, I need to create a data type of that same number type. So there is a data type called int. Give a space, give a variable called n, which will store my integer data type. Given is equal to, I'll just write within braces ds dot. There is a method to get the count of the XPath. The method name is get XPath count. There it is. Get everyone? Get XPath count method. I'll just double click on it. So this is asking an XPath for me to count for. Which XPath you want me to count? I'll go back to my browser, copy this XPath. Everyone, are you understanding what I'm doing?
Yes, Mahesh.
Okay. Within double quotes, I'll just paste the XPath which I've copied. That's all. Double quote should be inside. Okay. Here is my XPath. Okay. You're clear so far?
Yes, Mahesh.
No. After this, yes, buddy. Yes, buddy.
Why did we use integer like int keyword here?
I want to count the links that are available on my page. So these links, Hindi, Bengali, Telugu, Marathi. Okay. First I want to count and then print them one after the other. So for getting a count, I need a number, right? So I need to take a data type called integer data type to grab numbers. If it is a string, I will use a string data type like this. something like this. Okay, understood? Why did we use integer here? Int data type. I will tell you how many data types are there. I will give you the listing. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I understand. We haven't started at Java yet, so I'm just going on the very basics of Java. I'm giving an intro because I don't want you to mess up with the theory part here. Theory part is like a little boring, and which I don't want you to mess up with. On the go, I will give you the basics along with the theory, and I will tell you how many data types are there and everything. Now, if I start giving you the Java theory part, everybody will get bored for sure. They'll say, no, this theory is gonna take a huge while also. So, besides working on the browser, we will learn Java parallel. I won't make it hard for you. If it is hard, let me know. I'll go in another way around. But yes, you will come to know all the data types for sure within a short span. Okay. Well, let's come back. No, I'll come back to my browser first. Let's analyze the objects. Now, my object is inside this tag. If I expand, see every tag is inside an A tag. Every link. See, the moment I place my mouse pointer on the page, it is highlighted in blue color. Observe everyone. Right. Now, when I place my mouse pointer on top of one of the A tags, there is a tooltip coming along with the XPath. Observe it. It says add lang of A of 1. ID is equal to add lang of A of 1.
Yes.
Second one says add lang of A of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Third one says add lang of A of 3. Right? Parallelly, the same language is highlighted in blue color on my page, if you observe. The other one is A of 4. Okay? So every language link has an index. Like A of 1, A of 2, A of 3. Right? Right, everyone? Understood this?
Yes, Mahesh.
So my XPath is not limited till here. There is something else beyond this. So let's come back. Inside this, what I have to do here is extend my XPath by giving a forward slash. I'll say X colon A. Okay? And then there is a method which I am supposed to use here for my specific running instances. So that method is int value. Okay? This will return a number for me. It will just return a number for me and saves it in a variable called L. Okay? It will count this complete XPath values which are inside A tags. I used X colon A here because every tag of my link is inside A tag. See, every link is inside A tag, inside HTML. So I'm saying inside this XPath, there is a tag called A within which I have certain number of links. So please go count them. And this method will help me in doing that. Method called getXPath count will help me count them, but in return I need the number also, and the other method int value will return that number for me. Okay? Is it clear so far?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So the next thing is I have to print the number. If you want to print numbers, there is one more method called system.out.println. So I have to write actually system.out.println and give admin second. Okay. So instead of worrying this too much, I can just simply go for shortcut and all the way I cannot write system.out.println. So I'll do like SYSO and press control space. So I repeat once again. I did SYSO. I wrote SYSO and pressed control space here. It will bring me system.out.println complete and give my variable in there. Okay? Instead of writing the entire line. Am I clear so far?
Yes, Mahesh.
Everybody, are we in sync? Are we understanding?
Yes.
Any questions so far?
Mahesh, one doubt.
Yes, please.
Can we do the same counting in IDE also?
In ID, we don't have any methods, buddy. That's the problem.
Okay.
In ID, we don't have a method to count.
Okay.
But there is a workaround to do that is not suggested, so that's why we came to RC.
Okay, Mahesh. Thank you.
And if you remember, in IDE, we were able to grab the linked text and print them back using a
Yes.
command like store text command or echo command.
Yes, yes.
Here also we'll do the same, but not through commands, through methods.
Okay.
We'll run our program
Okay.
till here. Just save it and run it back. Everyone, are you understanding? Any questions so far? Please let me know. It's launching my Firefox browser. It's my saving server. And then comes my Google page. Okay, completely loaded. So I'll go back to my Eclipse. Here it is. Now it says invalid XPath because I have referred it with something called as Xcolor, right? It says invalid XPath. I don't know. This XPath is giving me something wrong. How do I find out whether this XPath which I used is correct or wrong? Let's go back. I'll close my server windows. Look at my original browser. Now I have to find out an XPath validator so that whenever I want to use this XPath, I will be using that validator back. There is a tool called XPath checker because we are using an XPath which is a backbone for my program, this XPath, using which I will get my links back. How do I know that this is the XPath correct or wrong? So go back and say download XPath checker. This is a tool which helps me in analyzing XPath, a specific XPath which I am going to use is correct or not. So it's also an add-on. So click on this XPath checker. It will be added to your Firefox browser. So here it is, as like Firebug and Firepath. Okay. Click on Add to Firefox. There it is. Then installing it. Just restart your browser. Here is my browser back. Now using the same Google page. Let me go back and copy the XPath which I was using from my Eclipse. Here it is. I'll copy this. I want to analyze whether this is working fine or not. Now on my page, I'll just right click. There will be an option called View XPath. See this? View XPath. After installing the XPath checker, click on this View XPath. Paste your XPath here. Is it giving me all the links?
Yes, Mahesh.
I removed X column here. So if
Yes,
I want
Mahesh.
specific links, I have to mention A of 1. See, it is giving me only first link. And if I specify A of 2, it will give me second link. A of 3 will give me the third link. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there are totally 9 links. Punjab is the last one, right? So my X path is absolutely fine. Right. Now I removed X over here. If I don't give any array here, if I give A, it will give me the entire links. Now it is giving me the entire links. So I don't have to use X there. The reason why I used X here is Eclipse has various versions. The latest version which you are going to download is Luna, but there are other versions like Kepler, Galileo. Some versions need variable interventions in XPath, like X colon like this, which will be stored inside this X. So please, whenever you face any problem like this, you can include your XPath. This is an absolute XPath. If there is any problem, you can include X colon here. That will suffice your need. Okay. If your XPaths are getting a problem, or if you are using any other version of Galileo or any other version of Eclipse like Galileo or Kepler or something. Okay. So mine is a basic version, it's Juno. So I'm using the same without references. So I'll rerun my script back. Okay. Synchronous Java application. Now this has to give me a count called 9 as an integer number. There you go. Save a window and then my Google page. Done. Until the page is loaded completely. There you go. Google page is loaded completely. So I have to go back to my Eclipse and see whether it is giving me the count or not. Okay. And I'll open the console. You see the count here? That's 9. Everyone?
Yes.
On my console? Okay. It means my
Yes,
XPath is working fine along with the links. The next thing is I have to print my links. So here I will use a small conditional statement, a for loop. I'll explain you the for loop tomorrow clearly, don't worry. I'm writing it down. For int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. What I'm trying to do here is, okay, I'm trying to start my counter iteration from 0 to nth value. N is stored with 9 here. Okay, I have to start my counter from 1, not from 0, because my links are starting with 1, not from 0. I'll show you. Fiber, element identifier, start my links, expand it. Now see the first link, when I place it on, it says A of 1, not A of 0. My links index is starting from 1. Okay, so that's why I took the count also from 1. And conditional checking with n, if I is less than 9, then go ahead increment it. So during that process, I want to print my values. String something like languages is equal to ds dot. I want to get the text of my links. So there is a method called get text. Okay, it will ask for a locator. Within double quotes, I'll write xpath is equal to the same xpath which I used but not without x colon. Okay. Now I want to write a of 1, a of 2, a of 3 like this. See? Then only I can print my values back. Okay. But when I have to write this in this format, I have to completely write all the links back. So if I want more number of links, what I have to do? I have to copy this. I have to paste back like this and write a of 2 for everything, a of 3, a of 4. So for all 9 links, you have to write it n number of times now, which is not suggested at all. So what I'll do here is I'll make it little dynamic. Instead of writing them like this, I will break my script into 2 parts, concatenate it with some operator, and replace it with I there. Because I is having the number. I actually want a of 1, a of 2, and a of 3. What I did here is I splitted my x part. This is first part of my x part. This is second part, within which I have concatenated with a variable which is iterating with a number. And then I wrote SYSO, a variable called languages, which is printing the languages. That's it. Save it. Close my earlier browser. Run it back. Okay, that's the server window. Google page. Okay, once my page is completely loaded, I will go back to my Eclipse. Just to cross check whether my values got printed or not. Open Eclipse. You see the values printed coming back here. Hindi, Bengali, Telugu. You can print them. You can print them in a sequence of don't worry. Can you all see the languages here?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm clear regarding this X path splitting. I'll tell you once again. My X path should be. I'll take only 5 or 10 minutes more here. Don't worry. I think today's session is becoming a larger one. So this is my X path actually. Okay. Okay. Now it should be like a of 1. It will give me the entire set of values which is in a of 1. And if I want the second value, I have to again write a of 2. Yes. Okay. A of 2. So for all the values, I have to write it 9 number of times. Instead of writing it 9 times, what I have done is, my I is already iterating with the number starting from 1 to the maximum number. So it is changing from 1 to 9. So I just replaced it with I. I removed this entire bunch. Instead of writing those here, what I did here is, with double quotes, I splitted my X path. This is my first part of my X path. And I have to close my X path, right? This is where I close it. So I splitted it. After splitting it in between, I concatenated my variable called I, which is in turn changing with 1. So every time my for loop, if it iterates from 1 to 0 or 1 to 9, I becomes 1, I becomes 2, and I becomes 3. Simultaneously, this will also be changed. which is my intention is from A of 1, A of 2, A of 3. It goes on changing. So that is how I'm handling my script here in single line instead of writing it 9 number of times. Are we all clear so far? No, yes.
Yes, Mahesh.
Yes, it's clear.
Sure. Okay. Well, if you say yes, I will have an assignment immediately. I'm running it 1 second for you. Please, any sort of questions here, please go ahead, because I want you to be very clear on this. Okay, there you go, the browser instance. Okay, that's my home page. Let me go back to Eclipse. Check out values. Can you see my console? Enter with the values.
Yes.
Okay. This is how we read values from effect page. Writing our own core logic, and with the help of XPath, it is actually grabbed from this place, from my Firebug. This is my XPath. This is the main core logic. Okay. And I used it here. Are we clear so far, everyone? This entire bunch?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, nice. Everybody?
Yes, Mahesh.
Okay. I'm not giving any assignments today. I'll be sending this program to you back. Everybody will have this in their inboxes. Please work out on this. And also, I'll share the documentation which is used for configuring Eclipse. It will have a step-by-step procedure how to configure Eclipse and everything. Follow that. Configure in your machine. Configure Eclipse in your machine. If you have any hassles, we'll discuss it on. Please drop in a mail back. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Are we good to go now? Sure, nobody has any questions? Okay, if you don't have any, let's wind up. Let's catch up on tomorrow again, 6:30 a.m. IST, and we'll take it on from more. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Mahesh.
Bye. Bye. Bye.